God is dawn. Like and subscribe. Comment some night. Love in this light. This God is dawn. God is dawn. God is dawn.
Peace, world, peace. Welcome back to Goddess Dawn Speaks. I am Goddess Dawn, the warrior, baby. Yep. Here to highlight a story that caught my attention. You know, now that R. Kelly's trial has wrapped, finally, his Illinois trial, I've been able to shift my time, energy, and attention to so many more things that are happening in the news. You know, I'm looking into things like the water problem in Jackson, Mississippi, and the whole Ron DeSantis secretly drop shipping migrants like a criminal trafficker. So many things that I'm itching to talk about. But you know, there's so many hours in the day. And unfortunately, YouTube just don't pay the bills. So, you know what I'm saying? My day job or jobs are my priority. And with that said, let's get into what's going on with music executive Chaka Zulu. He has been charged with murder, as well as aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during commission of a felony, and simple battery. And this is all after an altercation that took place in June. So here's a quick breakdown. This is his mugshot. So Ludacris's longtime manager Chaka Zulu was arrested on murder charge. The music executive, whose real name is Ahmad Abafemi, is also charged with aggravated assault, possession of firearm during commission of a felony, and simple battery, according to jail records. And here's the background, according to Michael Sadin. On June 26, APD responded to the 2200 block of Peachtree Road after getting reports of a shooting. When officers arrived, they found 3 people suffering from gunshot wounds. Investigators said it was the result of a dispute in the parking lot. Zulu's arrest comes more than 2 months after the family of Artez Benton, 23, was forced to bury their loved one who was shot and killed outside the club. Zulu surrendered to authorities on September 13th and bonded out on the same day. Zulu was one of 3 people shot on June 26 after a reported fight outside his Buckhead restaurant. So that actually conflicts with this gentleman or person being shot and killed outside of the club, because it wasn't actually a club. I know it was a strip mall, and we're going to see video. But I just want to point out that, you know, all information is not always the right information, but we're doing the best we can, right? So let's actually look at a news clip so we can get the kind of full breakdown, and then we'll go from there.
Video appears to show the moments before a man was killed. The shooting led to charges against longtime Atlanta music executive Chaka Zulu. The video posted on social media claims to show a fight that broke out in the parking lot at apartment 4B back in June. In it, Zulu is pushed down and kicked, but it doesn't show what happened after security broke up the fight. At some point, 3 men, including Zulu, were shot. 1 died at the hospital. Music executive turned himself in, but his attorney sent us a statement saying Zulu was attacked and jumped from behind and that he shot in self-defense. He's now out on bond.
There are so many violent crimes and murder cases happening, but in my opinion, this one is important due to the circumstances. So you should by now have a gist of the situation. So let's look at the footage that led up to the incident. It's a little bit grainy, but if you pay attention to the presenter, she explains it all pretty well.
That's a hit. 4, 5 are, I'm assuming, waiting Chaka's over here in the corner getting his guest situated. Follow along because there's going to be a lot of moving parts. So, dude right here has some kind of issue with Chaka. He waiting for him to hit the corner. He literally standing there waiting for Chaka to come. So this is Chaka right here. He's walking this way. This dude starts to walk this way to confront Chaka. Pay attention. Big dude is about to go to the back of the car. Chaka comes up. This is Chaka right here. This is the dude that wanted to confront Chaka. Him and Chaka are having a conversation. Big dude is in the back. He done already got whatever he needed to get out. He's coming back over. He walked back over to the group. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all sitting there watching Chaka and this dude have a conversation. If you see, this dude's hand is on his hip. Chaka believes that it's a gun in his waistband and is trying to stop pulling. Does is try to prevent him from pulling it. So here you go in real time. Chaka says, "Stop, bruh." I don't know if that's what he said in real life, but he's pushing him against the car so he doesn't have the ability to pull his weapon. Here are the guy's friends coming over. Big dude, first thing he does, punches Chaka in the side of the face. He hits the ground. Then they immediately start stomping him, kicking him, punching him. So I'm trying to figure out, how is Chaka the murderer when he is being beaten at his place of business? Security comes and breaks it up. This girl right here, pay attention. And the guy that, remember, started the shit to start with, punches her right in her face. Remember, no one's been arrested but Chaka, and all of these guys have been interviewed. Look at this. Chaka says, "Stop." They punch him. They start stomping him. Security runs over. They break it up. The dude that started it punches his girl. I guess that's legal in Georgia now because he has not been charged or arrested. Remember, Chaka's the only person that's been arrested at this point. Now, Chaka's finally on his feet. Those two aggressors are still trying to get at Chaka. Let's keep that in mind. This is Chaka. This is the kid that got shot. Remember, both of them are still trying to attack Chaka. My confusion is why the DA would charge Chaka Zulu with murder and aggravated assault after watching a video where he was attacked.
Okay, we're going to leave that there. Okay, that was disturbing. Hopefully, no one got triggered by that. But what we saw was a man being targeted and then brutally attacked by 4 assailants. And this is in a parking lot full of witnesses, parking lot of a strip mall, the location of his restaurant, again, in full view of witnesses and security who came up during the scuffle. Now, here's the statement that Zulu's lawyer posted or released, I'll say. Mr. Chaka Zulu, a beloved son of the city of Atlanta, is disappointed in the Atlanta Police Department's decision to bring charges against him surrounding the shooting that occurred in June 2022. A close review of all the evidence, including the surveillance footage and eyewitness interviews, reveals that Mr. Zulu was attacked and jumped from behind by a gang of at least 4 individuals, sadly including the decedent, and was forced to defend himself after this gang repeatedly stomped, punched, and kicked him while he was on the ground in a defenseless posture. Mr. Zulu was shot in the back during the shooting and nearly lost his life, and is still recovering from the nearly fatal injuries he sustained that evening. Mr. Zulu was at his place of business that night and had every right to defend himself. In an attempt to save his life, Mr. Zulu lawfully discharged his weapon in self-defense, a weapon that he is licensed to carry. Mr. Zulu cooperated with law enforcement officials and their investigation and voluntarily turned himself in once he learned of the arrest warrants. Mr. Zulu remains confident that his name will be cleared of all charges through the judicial process. It is not lost on Mr. Zulu that someone lost his life, but had Mr. Zulu not lawfully defended himself, Mr. Zulu would have been killed that night. So yeah, Georgia does have a stand your ground law in place, people. Okay. The same law that George Zimmerman stood behind after he murdered unarmed and unprovoked teenager, or unprovoked, should I say, teenager, Trayvon Martin. A totally unprovoked incident on Trayvon's part. And as you can see, number 2 of the statute allows lethal deadly force if the person reasonably believes another person is about to kill or gravely injure him or her, very clearly. So the fact that the Atlanta Police Department have charged him with murder following their quote unquote, and this is air quotes, investigation is beyond me. Also, if you noticed in the clip, the dude punching the young lady in the face and knocking her out cold, seemingly. What is up with that? No arrests were made other than Zulu, from what we're being told. And this is out of whack and just weird. Why are the charges falling onto the victim? Not taking from the fact that one of the men who attacked Zulu was shot and killed. But he was the aggressor, the assailant. So Shaka Zulu was well within his right to shoot him in an effort to save his own life, which he thankfully did. It's just a messed up situation everywhere you turn here. Unnecessary loss of life due to an unprovoked attack. The man that lost his life, his family also released a statement. The family is relieved that someone is finally being brought to justice for our loss. We are hopeful law enforcement and the prosecution will do the right thing and bring justice and closure to our family. We would also like to add that Artez was known for his tough exterior and his warm and fuzzy personality with a smile that could make all of your problems go away. In his past times, outside of working and studying to become an electrician, Artez would help his father with his lawn care business. Each Sunday, he would conduct baseball training for his nephew and a few other children at Wade Walker Park. If that wasn't enough on his plate, Artez still made time for social life with his family and friends. Artez was a diehard family man who loved to travel, cut hair, read, fish, play baseball, basketball, and bowling. We would like it to be known that there was a resolution done by the Georgia representative in recognition of Artez. Also, that the people know that he had a life with great promise that should not be diminished by the notoriety of the person that took his life. Now, keep in mind that video that we saw. I'm not going to replay that, but actually risking the channel by playing it in the first place. You know, YouTube is about violence. But he was one of the men who was targeting Shaka Zulu and then who followed up by attacking him with the rest of the guys. There was an attack by 4-on-1. Now, my intuition tells me that this was a dispute over bad business, with money being the bottom line, or could also have to do with perceived disrespect, a la Tory Lanez and August Alsina. But whatever the case, they should have handled things as men and not menaces. Black men, I'm talking to you. Come on, we need to do better. I myself had a recent run-in with a Nino Brown, I'll call him. And I won't get into now about what happened, but I will. But y'all just really have to watch these black men who pander to black women. Hence my recent tweet. Ladies, be careful of these black men who pander to black women on their platforms. All of their commentary directed at us, acting like they get us and have our backs. 9 times out of 10, they really ain't shit. In my opinion, based on my experience, it's a damn shame too. Shaking my head. You know what I'm saying? So just a fair warning, because I will be talking about this situation in more detail very soon, probably on my member channel. But, you know, we have way too much of this toxic masculinity taking over, where mature communications and actions are falling by the wayside when it comes to decision making. Because remember, everything you do out here in the world is by choice. So ponder your options, people, before making decisions that could become harmful or even deadly. We as humans are gifted with free will. And free will is the only thing that's free that you can completely count on to give you back exactly what you give. Yep, that's all I got for now, y'all. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know your thoughts on this matter in the comments. Till next time, peace.